Content warning. The following show contains smoking, possible potty mouth language, discussions of fictitious violence and other sensitive topics, and of course, some things that are honest that may make some folks feel attacked or uncomfortable. But I promise, we don't mean to offend. We simply see a lot of things. That's all. But with all that being said, viewer discretion is advised. Well, aren't you fun? Look, this is a new show, all right? Let's just let's roll with it. All right, yeah, let's roll with it. Hey everybody, how's it going? Alright, so I am back. I am Solar Grey, the Cinematic Sorcerer. And, oh my god, I am here in the Wizard's Tower, finally, saying thank you for being here and welcome to Happy Widdit. This is the show, my show, the show that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Now this show is about crafting. What are we talking about? Yeah, we're going to be making stuff. I used to do a lot of crafting on my Twitch channel and on my YouTube channel, and I kind of fell out of it because I built everything that I needed. But you know what? Been doing a whole lot of crafting. But here's the thing. We are focusing on the kinds of crafting that everybody can do. Now, I am not trying to attack. I don't want any smoke. I don't want any beef or anything. But I watch a lot of videos, okay? A lot of tutorials, a lot of instructional videos, and oh my god, there are just so many amazing crafters out there. And I mean, they are just plain astounding. People like Wylock's Armory, Black Magic Craft, the RP Archive. God, this is literally like off the top of my head. I didn't even make notes. But God, who else? We're talking. Yeah, no, we already talked about. Oh, yeah, Eric's Hobby Workshop. All these guys are just amazing crafters, and you know, we cannot ever forget Zorbazorb. Okay, all of these guys you can find on YouTube after you're done watching this show. And, of course, with all that being said, one of the things that I've done over the past few years, that I've been involved in crafting and all this other stuff, is I've been watching how other people do their stuff. I've been trying to learn from them. You know, just hours and hours and hours of instructional video. And it makes me remember when I was a kid, you know? Remember when you're a kid and you got like a model car or a Happy Meal from McDonald's and it never looked like the picture? You know? That's because of something called magic. Cinematic magic. They take wonderful food and they cover it in things that make it completely inedible so that it looks good for the camera. And a good amount of the time, god, am I coming in all right? This is, let me check my yeah, I don't know, I look like I'm a little blurry off cameras. Hey, what's going on, Xanathades? What is going on? Yeah, I'm looking blurry. I'm not liking that. But like I was saying, yep, I am looking blurry. I'm gonna have to adjust that. Yes! Thank you so much, Neon Arlecchino. So, yeah, but yeah, the stuff never looks like it does in the picture, and it's always really disappointing. You know, just, you want to get the stuff done, and it's like, no! So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about all that? One, we're gonna tell these people to shut up. Cause yeah. There we go. People are like, oh yeah, can I get a hold of you and all that stuff? Yep, maybe oversaturated. I was afraid of that. But you know what? We can fix that. That's actually pretty easy. To check that out. Yep. So we're just gonna turn down the color saturation on this one. No, not there. A little bit. Nope. Yeah, a little bit brightener. Turn up my contrast. High. That's a lot better. Gamma. Oh, that's looking so much better. Okay, that part's looking better. I actually have to make an adjustment. Hey, what's going on, Glenn? Yeah, I got to make an adjustment on the camera proper, and that's about 10 feet away. I don't even know what those emojis mean. So we have a lot to talk about. But like I was saying, okay, I'm on the air at the moment. Okay, so that is how that is looking. And of course, so what are we gonna do? You know, you really get really, oh, thank you, double high five. All right, that's a lot better. What people do with that is they come to a crossroads, right? They come to this big old crossroads and they're like, do I keep going? Or do I give up because I suck at this? Well, guess what? Here at Back in the Deck, we don't give up. What we try to do is we try to keep our standards realistic. So on this show, we are going to do a little kit bashing today just to make sure that we can make something that we're happy with. And at the end of it, I think we're going to be happy with it. But if you got any questions or comments or anything like that, well, it's really easy to get a hold of me. Just reach out at backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK @gmail.com. And you can also reach out over at Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And I'll be putting pictures of all of these things up on the Instagram. Okay. You know, I'm trying to get more involved in social media and do the things that you're supposed to be doing with social media, although I really suck at it. I really do. But you know what? We live, we learn, we buy diapers, and we do what we can. So, we're going to be dealing with that on those terms and all of that jazz. And let's see, what else do we got? Oh, no wonder. Yep, got all that. And that's what we were doing with that. And of course, you know, you can reach out in a myriad of other ways. But my favorite way is with your email or with a little app called Facebook. That is Deckers on the Books. All right, so there we go, guys. I will be back in just a moment because I want to adjust this whole camera. I'm looking at this on the monitor and I know I need new glasses. And I do. I need new glasses. But yeah, so we'll be right back, guys. That is so much better. Oh my god, I'm enjoying that a lot more. So as I was saying, woo, all right, I feel a lot better on this one. Now that's yeah, I look better, I feel better. All right, there we go. So as I was saying, with all that stuff, as you guys know, all of you guys should know, I am a major 3D printer head. I love 3D printers. Okay, and yeah, let's go. All right, I'm a major 3D printer head, and with my 3D printing, all right, I mainly make miniatures and terrain and all of that stuff. All right, so I've been working really hard on getting one of my 3D printers actually working, so that I can start making some really fun terrain, and I can do some painting videos and stuff like that. But a lot of you guys also know that I recently started playing Warhammer 40k. I finally chose an army after all this time. I went with the Thousand Suns, and I found one of the many Luffy-based team builders that are out there, and I made myself up a 2,000 point army in the time that I've been away. And I've been away working myself stupid, and I mean really damn stupid. Let's see. Yeah, a better term for printer enthusiast, similar to pirate, but that doesn't sound right. No. I'm a printer enthusiast. I'm not a pirate. I'm not like, yar, I will steal from this place and then I will sell it for profit. Yeah, no, that's not me, man. That's not me. I steal the stuff and I give it away. I'm kidding. I'm not a thief, all right? But I do patronize independent creators, all right? Guys like Puppets War and One Page Rules and Apex Tabletops and, a few other independent 3D printer or 3D sculptors, all right? And I figure, you know what? They make this stuff, they make proxies, and I'm not going into a Games Workshop store because I am not the only person that has had bad experiences at those places. I was talking to an old friend of mine this weekend, and they were like, yeah, I'm not playing that game because I went into the store I went into a particular store to look around, and they're like, oh, girls don't play these, and so she's like, well, if girls don't play them, I guess I won't. And it's one of those, I'm gonna punish the corporation for employing these kinds of people on their management team. Now, I don't come from that school, but I do come from the school of I'd like to play games, but if my player pool are the reason that I started this company in the first place, then that's a game I'm not going to be playing, And for about 20 something years, that was Games Workshop, and I mean Games Workshop everything. So, I kind of stayed away from it, but 10th edition, they brought me back. I met some really nice people over the years that play the game and all that stuff. Yeah, I know. I like Inspired By, but Legally Distinct From Xanathage. That's one of my favorites. So I found a creator out there that does a lot of models called something, and I picked him up. I picked him up because, he was giving away the stuff for free. And is that piracy? That's my question. I know it's proxying. And though I plan on going to the Vegas Open next time, I'm not going to be playing in any official Warhammer events. I'm literally going to be like, hey, let's play some one-page rules. I'm going to be at that table all day. Like all day. And yeah, so that's going to be a thing. But I put together a whole bunch of stuff for my army, and I'm one model short. Okay? Let's see if I can remember this off the top of my head. I have 2 Exalted Sorcerers on disc. 2 what are they called? Not Exalted Sorcerers. They're something. Let me go to the Games Workshop site real quick and pull up the names of that stuff, because yeah, that's definitely a thing. And I talked with a bunch of people, especially our guys over at Guildhouse Games, which, by the way, soon I will be getting a promo code from those guys, and there'll be an affiliate link so that you guys can get a percentage off of stuff you order from their store, because they're awesome. All right, I'm going to be talking about that with Charles next week, and I'm going to be doing another show from the store, hopefully the Monday before Halloween. But there's no guarantees on that, and I'm not going to put that out there and put him on blast until we talk about it. You feel me? All right. So, what is the name of that mini? Just view all. It's not a big faction. Infernal Masters. Okay, I've got 2 Infernal Masters, 2 Exalted Sorcerers on their floaty discs, 1 regular Sorcerer on the ground, 2 units of 5 Rubric Marines, 2 units of 2 5-man units of Scarab Terminators, and 2 Scarab Sorcerers in Terminator armor, and 1,000 Suns Rhino for transport. And what else? Oh yeah, Magnus the Red. So that's my army. But I was short the standard sorcerer. Okay, I had everything except the standard sorcerer, and I ran out of 3D printer resin. So that begged the question, well, what am I gonna do? Am I just gonna not play? Is that what's gonna happen? Oh no, because if you guys are clumsy like me, there we go. If you guys are like me, chances are you have come up with failed. Okay, your chat glitched. I totally get it. You might want to reload the page. Oh yeah, and I've got 20 Xanagors and 2 Xanagor Shaman. So if you hadn't noticed, I pretty much built the team based off of the Combat Patrol, which is a unit of Scarab Terminators, 1 Exalted Sorcerer, 1 Infernal Master, and 20 Xanagors. Okay, so that's what I did, and I augmented the team, and I've got it 2,000 points on the nose. So if you are, my Scarab Terminators, I think. No, they one of my I think it's the Infernal Masters. I gave them a big floating book type of thing. There'll be pictures on the Instagram after I get everything nice and painted. And I said, forget everybody else. I'm gonna do what I like. I'm gonna do what I like. I'm gonna do what I want. And by that, I mean, yeah, do what I like, do what I want, play what I like, play what I want. Hey, Cyber Drake. And you're not very late at all. I actually came on an hour late today. Because if you guys watch this channel, you have seen me a lot. And one of my tests for people is, people are like, I know you're not a mystery. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be a mystery. I mean, what is your deal? Because out here in Southern California, I don't know what it is, but people try and get off on this. I know something you don't know, or I know you better than you know yourself. And I get so mad at that. So sure enough, I took a look at a couple of other things, and I'm like, you know what? Screw all those people who like making fun of folks. Screw all the people that are looking to tear down your victory, or should I say yuck your yum. And for my second army, because I want 4 armies, to really spread the thing, really give me a sense of what it's like to play a lot. And since I have so many miniatures for 1-page rules, I'm like, you know what? I can do that. So yeah, I picked not just the Space Marines, but I'm going the Ultramarines because I love blue. And I love Gilliman. All right, I like blue. I like Gilliman. I'm going Space Marines, and I'm going guys from Ultramar. That's what I'm doing, and people can give me all sorts of crap, but that's fine. I even got some new paint techniques that are going to be looking pretty cool. But with my Thousand Suns, I'm only 3 models away from having the thing totally table ready at any store I go to, and I'm trying to get it done so that the next time I play over at the Guild House, I can put it on film and everybody's doing good. But if you guys are like me, y'all have 3D print failures, right? Sometimes you run out of resin, sometimes your FEP goes, sometimes you end up with mom's spaghetti. You know, there's just a lot that just keeps happening, huh? All right, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to cheat. Sorry, my camera, for some reason, keeps falling to the wayside. It's like, yeah, all right, I'm here. Yeah, we're gonna look at this. Nah. So, I gotta fix that really quickly. Again, just new problems that happen after I hit record. Gotta love it. So where was I? Oh, yeah. So, between my stuff from Apex Minis, our Apex tabletop, and you guys have seen me paint Apex stuff before. I love the company. Alex is a really cool dude, and he's putting out some great stuff. And he was actually my inspiration for picking the Thousand Suns. Let me see if the website is back up. Okay. And yeah, this guy's Patreon is like I think $7 to $10 a month or something. No, oh, tabletop. Yeah, Apex tabletop. That's what I'm looking for. Boom. Let's see if it's there. Come on, show me. Okay. All right, let's see if I can find this stuff. So, let's see if we can go here. And his new, yep, it's still out. He's probably having it restructured because he recently changed the name of his company. And that comes with a lot of rebranding, okay? So, and what I'm doing here, ladies, gentlemen, and other folks, is my glue is a little clogged up. So, yeah, I gotta unclog this glue and see if I can get this working, or, you know, this stuff has been giving me grief. This is probably why people at stores are like, don't get the gel, just get the runny stuff. And I'm like, but I can control the gel a lot better. If these companies actually sold more tips, that would be amazing. All right. Now, while I was putting all this stuff together, I did suffer a major injury. In the sense of, I don't know if I do, and I hope that I don't need stitches. But yeah, I had a little bit of a run-in with some stuff. What is that? If they sold tips, they'd sell less glue. Facts. Total facts. You know. So, but fortunately, I've got ways. I've got methods. I've also got dogged determination. Here we go. So yeah, God, it's not loading. I think my computer is just in need of a massive upgrade. Unfortunately, I also have property taxes due. And if you guys are wondering where I've been and why I've been gone, there's been some new developments just in my life as a whole, okay? So that's a big thing. We'll be talking about it once I get the crafting parts starting to go for today's show, because yeah, there's some new stuff going on, And it's fascinating. And when I say fascinating, I literally mean that. Like, I am fascinated by it. And it also comes with a lot of clarity. Okay? So that's a really, really big thing. So as I was saying, again, I also apologize for being like an hour late today. As soon as I was ready to get everything going and I made the new thumbnail and I did all that stuff, Windows was like, we're going to restart your computer now. And I'm like, whoa, why now? And it's like, because now is the time I have to restart your computer. And I'm going, no, don't do that. So an hour later, it's like, see, that wasn't so bad, was it? And I'm like, yes, it was. That was freaking terrible, you monster. And yeah, so we are really far behind. And I had to, while I was getting this stuff going, I had to retool a lot of things. But I've been gone for the past couple of weeks because I kind of had to get a day job. And a couple of gigs came up like right after the writer's strike ended. So I'm like, oh, well, that's a way to do things. So the writer's strike ended. And people are like, hey, we have more shipments. So I've been in the warehouse a lot. And unfortunately, guys, I would do shows later on in the day. But being at the warehouse is like being at the gym for 6 to 8 hours. Okay? And what that means is when I finally get home from work, all I can do is fall down. And I don't mean that metaphorically. All right? I literally, there's no eating. There's barely any showering. I can take a shower on really, really good days. But if it's not one of those really, really good days, then yeah, there's no shower. There literally is just me falling down and passing out. And I don't like it, but I recognize that is what I'm working with. So most of those days, yeah, I end up literally passing out because I can't stand up anymore. And I've also been working with Firebringer Studios in downtown Los Angeles. Unfortunately, I learned something about language. And language is amazingly dishonest. Okay? Seriously, it is amazingly dishonest. And what do I mean by that? They call it rush hour. That ain't a fact, all right? It's more like rush half the day, all right? I don't want to talk about that right now, Cyber Drake. I really don't. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate, and I came here to be happy and to help make you guys happy. So, there we go. So much better. All right, so there we are. There's that, and oh yeah, nice and runny. I'm liking that. That's what this is supposed to be right now. All right, so do all that. Now we can get this in there and fix up the camera that we didn't know needed fixing. Hooray! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That second bit down there. There we go. I am so sick of people calling me when I'm on the air. Specifically, because I spend so much time not on the air and my phone never rings. So, now that we got that going, and we got that, so much better. So much better. All right. That is great. Oh, so happy. I'm so happy with what we got now. All right. So, looking at all that, got all that stuff going down. This is great. now we're ready. Now, as I was saying, if you guys are like me, you're not majorly type A, all right? Matter of fact, if you're like me, there's a lot of stuff going on in your brain meats, like ADHD. That's a huge one, all right? Which means you're doing 8, 9, 10 things at one time. You can't remember all the details, and people are like, well, why don't you just slow down and focus on one thing? And I'm like, why don't you grow a pair of wings and fly the fuck out of my room? Just to say that some people, asking someone who is biochemically incapable of doing something is like asking someone who is physically incapable to do something, and people don't want to get that. So yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at. So yeah, when it comes down to all that, that means when I do a lot of stuff, there's a lot of errors, okay? Sometimes I don't know when to replace my FEP, except for when I start to get really bad prints, it's so much better. But when that happens, we end up with a lot, and I mean a lot of spare parts. And I think that that's really kind of cool. Now, I took a look at the craftsmen and the craftswomen, the craftsperson, the craft insert pronoun here people, all on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. And they are amazing. Okay, they are just amazing. One of my favorites and one of my favorite people is Tanya the War Mistress. Just astoundingly talented people. And I've worked in special effects. All right, I'm gonna be like Michael Jackson and go in with one glove on this one. Yeah, I'm astoundingly talented people, and I am not that. I will never be that. And why will I never be that? Because I don't want to. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100 with you guys, all right? I don't want to. When I look at what people do to get to that level, what I see is people love being there and they hate the journey to get there. And I can respect that. See what I mean about the ADD? Losing all my stuff while never moving out of one spot. I can respect that. I really can. But here's the thing. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm letting you guys know now. I was born and raised in the hood in the 80s and the 90s, all right? My entire life has been a series of stress-inducing events. And so when it comes to the things that I do here, my hobbies, as it were, I don't want stress. All right. I want to play games. I want to make toys, and that's it. I'm not looking to be an amazing craftsman. I don't want to be, I really don't want to be Ted Savini or anybody that would work for David Cronenberg. I'm not that guy. All right. I didn't have the opportunity for those experiences growing up. I grew up at a time where every single time there was something good for kids in school, it would be cut by, the budget would be cut by the state of California, which I live. So, when I was in the music program, cut. The art program, cut. The acting, or the theater program, cut. And I mean, it got to a point where when I was growing up, my school had a swimming pool that no student had ever seen. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, that means with the lack of these programs, when I finally went out into the world of entertainment, I was competing for jobs against people that had been making model cars and model trains since they were 8. And people that had schools that could teach them art and theory and all of those things. All of these things that I didn't have, all right? But these are things that I like to do, all right? And the fact is, I like playing games, but people hate playing games with someone who doesn't paint their miniatures. I get it. I totally get it. I'm there. Not that I share that sentiment, but I'm willing to compromise. Okay, I'm willing to compromise. I will paint my proxies if people don't give me crap for bringing proxies, because I am not spending $30 on one miniature. I don't have that kind of cash. And if you're watching right here on this channel today, you probably don't either. Interesting. This is just so many things are not functioning. So my models are made up of three major companies. Company 1 being One Page Rules, and you guys know I'm a shill for them. Oh, they're coming. Company 2 is Apex Miniatures. What? Yeah, Apex Tabletop. Matter of fact, he just posted this today because somebody wasn't happy with the Terminators that he printed. So, look at this guy. Love these guys. And one of the reasons that I really like his models, and I really, really love Apex Tabletop models, it's because they work for Warhammer 40K. There he is. But they also work for games like, hey, thank you. Thank you so much, Cyberdrake. But one of the things that I really, really, really appreciate from him, okay, is his models can be painted grimdark and pass, or, okay, and this is a really big one, or they can be used for other space games. All right, now I like playing Infinity and Alien games and Space Weirdos and 5 Parsecs from Mars, or 5 Parsecs from Home. But when he made this guy, okay, this guy right here, I'm like, oh my god, that looks so Thousand Suns, especially in that render. I mean, look at this thing. Just look at this thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I can mess with that. I can mess with that right there. That is really cool. And since I'm part of his Patreon, I'd already had the STL. All right. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I am jazzed at that. And I said, you know what? I do like magic slinging. I like things with wings, and Magnus did nothing wrong. So I picked the Thousand Suns, and I came up with a 2,000 point team. Do I think they will work well for battle dress, power armor, and Traveler? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Matter of fact, hey, what's up? Oh, you're offering me a promotion of my channel viewers. You know what that means, 6 foot Sadie? Or is that 6 foot Sade? If you don't give me an actual comment in the next 1 minute, you are about to be blocked. Yeah, I mean, look at these guys. That just, it's so sweet. And again, it's a truck. Look at a truck. Is that Space Marine? Who cares? It's a truck. And these are some of the dudes that he released. These are the medium-sized guys. So, yep, looks like a robot. Yep, been less than a minute. So, it's time. Guess what? Hammer, please. Don't hurt him. Oh, Hammer, please. Yeah, no, I'm not adding a guest. Stop that. Banned. Totally banned. So yeah, so my army consists of those guys. Do 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 do. I blocked you. Do 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 do. You blocked. Do 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 do. You're blocked. Do 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 do. All right. And of course, this is not doing what I want it to do. All right, banned. Yes, they're banned. I want to get back to my regular chat. Take it back to the regular chat. This is so irritating. Well, at least I have a robot following me, and that's something. Isn't it, though? Let's see here. Docs. I want to open a doc. Yeah, I know. And now I'm going to open the doc again. Good. So I'm back to my regular chat. I hate everything. So essentially I'm playing Hero Hammer because I like sorcery points. So I've got 2 Exalted Sorcerers, 2 Infernal Masters, 1 regular Sorcerer. I've got Ahriman, but I printed 1 too few minis, and then I ran out of resin. So, what can I do about that? Well, what are you going to do? I don't know what you're going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I am going to take some of my failed prints, and we're going to fix those guys up. We are going to give them, a little bit of fixing. All right? And what does that mean? Well, let's head over to the hobby hall and let's check it out. All right? So these are my guys. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer with Arid Extra Dry. Yeah, now look at that. Okay, these are my little guys. Now this guy, as you can see, he printed and I ran out of resin. Yeah, I ran out of resin right here. Look at that. That is crazy. All right. Interesting. Samsung Sync Master. Why, oh why? Why am I coming out so grainy? It's so grainy. Let me just double check there. What's up with my webcam? What's up with my webcam? Oh, so much better. Oh, look at that. It's no longer that grainy. I just had to do some customization on the thing. There we go. All right. So yeah. So as you guys can see, right here is where I ran out of resin. It's like going it's like and the print just kept printing, but there was nothing there for it to grab. So I got some feats. All right. Now I had another messed up print. See this guy, his back is all tore up. Look at that. Just all tore up. Look at that. It came in terribly, but his front came out good and his legs came out good. So I was able to replace him. Okay. I ripped his legs off, just totally ripped them off and put them elsewhere. All right. So yeah, with this guy, I'm like, ooh, but wait a second. He's got a torso and I've got some legs. So yeah, guess what we're doing? All right. But that means we need some arms. All right. Now I printed up an extra plate of backpacks. So we're going to be doing those. All right. We're going to have, nice little backpack. Now we've got both a right arm and a left arm. All right. Right arm and left arm, but the left arm is missing its upper arm part. Like, hey, where'd your arm go? I don't know. So we're going to have to improvise that. And we've got 2 options. We've got a failed print arm, okay? Or we've got some support material, all right? I think I'm going to use the support material because we only need to make what's up here. And of course, some shoulder pads and what's that? A head in the road. And we made an extra staff, okay, but it was really messed up, so I had to pop off the bottom. So this guy is going to be kit bashed to all get out. And also, much like Edna says, ooh, wrong one. Much like Edna says there we go. Yeah. Much like Edna says in The Incredibles, no cape. I know she says no capes, but I'm like, no cape. Why is there no cape? I don't know. There should be a cape. I want a cape. So we're going to make a cape. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get our trusty snippy snaps. Snip, 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 snip. All right. And we are just going to clean up down here. All right. Now, as you can see, he's got his little back tag. And this guy doesn't have a little back tag. So we're going to try and save that back tag. But here's the thing about resin. If you guys have ever done any kit bashing whatsoever, and that is, this stuff snaps and goes everywhere. So we're going to try and save it. And if we can't, oh well. Okay. Oh well. It ain't saved. We're good. All right. So yeah. Now, hang on. Where's my other set of... here we are. Okay. Yeah. My other set of snippies. Oh, look at that. Yeah. All right. That's what we got. Let's try and save the belt buckle if we can. All right. We might not be able to, but if we can, that would be cool. Okay. There. And now we just kind of wear it away with our snippies, and don't worry, we've got that. All right, so yeah, let's clear it, give good production value, and just clear this stuff away with our snippies. Okay? Now, when our snippies have gone as far as we can, this is where we get dangerous. All right, like Darkwing Duck. And we're just going to take our blade and work that out. It's not going to take that long because resin is resin. We just make our turns and whittle away. Little by little do we start to whittle. All right? Little by little, we start to whittle. Now, we're not going to be making this machine perfect. This only has to look good from the table, and then I'll be happy with it. All right. Yep. Just wipe away some of our detritus so that we know what's up. Okay. But yeah, little by little, we start to whittle. Well, we lost the belt buckle, kinda. Nah, it's fine. Okay. We can probably go into our bits box somewhere and find like a jewel or a bead or something after we get this thing painted. There we go. And look at that. All right, we're here. Focus. I said focus. There we are. Okay, yeah, look at that. Okay, got our little guy right there. And we're just going to see if these can go together. See what we got? You see that little space right there? Okay. That right there. That ain't good. So we're going to lose the back thing. And that way, see, now we can get that together. Look at that. All right. Yeah, we got a little sidebar that's a little but yeah, but that's okay. But we also have to clean this back up, all right? Because that just doesn't look good. Look at all that. So that's fine. We're just gonna snip off as much as we can on these, and this stuff doesn't take that long. I mean, you guys know we're doing this in real time. All right, yeah. Okay. And then again, little by little, we then start to whittle. Okay. Now, don't worry about getting this clean, because that's why we're making a cape. And capes are cool. Alright? But just whittle it away a little at a time. Watching your fingers. So, now let's see. Now, as far as why I've been gone for so long. So like I said, I've been working a day job, and it's literally been working like 4 days a week. And I've been getting some medical treatment. Cause, yeah, so y'all know how I try and keep everything 100 here. And with that, so I've always had a problem, okay? Not just with the color of my skin in the places that I'm at, but I've always been an unusual guy. All right. I think different. I think different. I'm built different. And that's always been kind of a thing. I've been in therapy for it for a while. Okay. A good while. Most of the time my therapy sessions are before the show. All right. And so got some tests done with my shrink. And yeah, so it turns out, to make a long story short, it is possible that I have mild autism. So I found that out, and I've kind of been coming to terms with it. Ooh, no, it broke. Don't worry about it. Again, I don't worry about most of this stuff. Now, a lot of people are like, why would you treat your minis this way? Because they are not holy sacred relics. All right. There we go. Now, some folks would take a Dremel to it, but this is not a pre-recorded video. And taking a Dremel to something like this comes inherently with, and I don't want to do that to you guys, and I don't want to deal with it right now. So yeah, so I found out that there's a major chance that I am mildly autistic. Like definitely on the spectrum. So, and here's the thing. I've always been unusual, but they didn't have a name for it when I was a kid. You know? I've always had a problem relating to people in front of me. Not because I'm some sort of sociopath, but, I never... Ooh. Well, that wasn't good. What part did we lose? Oh, we lost that part. Okay. There were a lot of things that people concern themselves with that just never, ever, really hit for me, you know? Like ceremony, not my bag. Small talk, absolutely not. And you guys watch my show, so you know I stem for real. There we go. That's got the space. All right. So now that we've carved all that off, we've now made room for this. Boop, boop. Even boop, boop. And the cape. So we're going to do this thing to help keep our pieces in a manageable spot. Okay. And when I say manageable, let's clean up our work area real quick. And we have all these little pieces, you know, broken pieces, messed up pieces. You would think we'd be making candy out of chocolate and peanut butter, right? So let's clean some of that up. Just so we can keep our area I'm not going to say keep it straight, but keep it not confusing. Okay. There we go. So now that we got that going, woo! So yeah, discovering that my brain is a lot like my food, which is wonderfully spicy, a lot of things became clear, but that also comes with the process of, okay, what do I do now? You know, how has this affected me? What does it mean? How is this going to affect my day to day? You know? Okay, so now we're just going to glue some of the stuff that came apart back together. And, yeah, so that's the thing. So, but it does clear up a lot of things, like a whole lot of things. And I felt really good in finding out, you know, and I mean that. I finding out was really relieving after a fashion. Because half of my stuff with therapy is trying to learn how to navigate the world because I have such a different point of view from my peers. I say peers because I don't know. There we are. See, that's nice and together. And I always have. You know, I've been fired from jobs for being weird. And of course, trying to navigate a world that is very, very dishonest. And when I say dishonest, I mean a world that relies on a lot of social cues, for whatever their reasons are, but they have social cues instead of honest communication, with the expectation that everyone is gonna get it, you know? And one of my main problems over the course of my adult life, or over the course of over the course of my adult life, one of my main problems has been the places that I go aren't the places that I grew up. So I don't know their cultural rules. You know, I don't know their contexts. What I do know is that I don't know. And people are really uncomfortable with that, you know. I used to try and explain to people that the idea of common sense, in Southern California especially, changes dramatically every 20 to 30 miles. Okay? And I am not kidding when I say that. Like, seriously speaking, 20 to 30 miles, and you were in a completely different place with completely different rules. Yeah, you're in a completely different place with completely different rules. Sometimes a completely different language. And everyone's like, what? I'm speaking English. I'm like, do not condescend to me like that, you jerk monkey. You know? Okay, so what we have here is a hand and a forearm with a staff, and a hand and a forearm, and a shoulder with a sword. Well, I don't need the sword. Alright, so we're just gonna take the sword. Okay. Now, a lot of folks would tell me just cut off, like a lot of folks would try and say, cut the stick off here and there, and then you be good, right? No, because you got to put it back on. Alright. When you're kit bashing, one of the best things that I have found over the course of my time doing it is make as few cuts as possible in places that people aren't really gonna look. And I put it very clearly, I make my stuff to play with. So anybody that would pick up my model, you know, hey, that looks really cool, can I pick it up and see it? And I'll be like, why? Well, I just want to look at it. Are you going to tell me what I have to improve? Because if that's the case, I want to hear it. You know, it really is that, guys. So now that we got that going, we're just going to give this a little accelerant because I don't want to do this again. Boop, boop. And there, nice and solid. So now we can put this on here and get along with our day. Okay. We're putting that there. Okay. And in the immortal words of our Lord Cyborg, booyah. Okay, and while we're at it, let's put on a shoulder pad for him. Okay. We're going to put on a shoulder pad. And see, all of these were from 3 or 4 different plates of prints that failed. You know. Yeah. There we go. But now, oh, look at our back here. Our back isn't coming in that well, so we can take this off and we can reposition it. But whenever you take off paint or take off 2 glued pieces, it's always in your best interest to, you know, just little by little, do a little whittling. Y'all need to stop calling. There we go. Again, most days that I'm home and I'm not, most days that I'm home and the days that I'm not working stupid crazy hours, I'm literally online or on the phone trying to get a hold of people. The moment I sit down with you folks, everybody's like, oh yeah, no, this called solar. Me. So y'all can knock that off. I'm gonna say that. Not you guys, because I know only like 3 of you guys actually have my phone number. You know. And if they're bill collectors, it's after business hours on the West Coast, guys. There we go. Yay, that's in there. Is it? Oh, no, it is not properly set. We have to properly set this. So. Okay. I see what's happening there. So we're going to have to whittle away a little bit back there. And this is what kit bashing looks like. You know? Some folks have a plan. Nah. There we go. This is there. Is that what we're looking for? Will that stay? That will stay well enough for us to use some of our thick glue as gap sealer. Okay, now as you guys can see, I'm shaking a little bit. So, I'm bracing my elbow on the chair and my fingers on the table and the model on the table. This is why I like the gel. There. Boom. Boom. And once we have this where we want it, we can just wait a few. Okay. So, now see, this is what happens when the force that you use is a little too much, you know. Unfortunately, I suffer from a condition called really strong hands. And I like doing minis. So what we're going to do is we're going to brace this here. Now, there's probably some professional painters out there that'll see what I'm doing and be like, oh man, he doesn't know what he's doing. All he has to do is, and to those of you guys that say that, I say, shut up. You're right. I don't know what I'm doing. Because I didn't have the benefit of a lifetime of doing it or schools that taught it. Okay? All right. See, now we're together. Okay, now we could use some gap filler on that. But trust me, by the time we get everything where we want it, it'll be all right. Now, what's that? A head in the road? Nope, that's a head. So what's that? A head in the road? Now, I had a spare head laying around, and it might be a little big. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off its contact nub. All right. See, it's got its little contact nub right there. So we're going to take our little snippy snips, snip that off, and then little by little, that's right, we start to whittle. Okay, there we go. Little by little, we start to whittle. All right. And so now we can stick our head in there, making sure to the best of our ability. Ooh. See, look at that. Our head is kind of, we've got the eyes, but it's got this kind of smiley thing down there. And this is why we whittle. Now, if we had remembered to bring our sandpaper, we could really just even this out. All right. But we don't have to. All right. There we go. And some folks would be like, why aren't you using tweezers? Because I ain't got any, okay? You know, one of my family's mottos is take what you got and make what you want out of it. You know? All right. So, got this little thing, and yeah, he's got a big old head. Oh, look at that. So, look at our guy now. Let's take a look at this guy. Yeah. So yeah, he's coming together. All right. But now it's time. Time for what, Tholer? Well, we are going to have to take this forearm. All right. And the first thing we're going to do with this forearm is we're going to cut off the sword. Okay. It's a good sword. It'll go back in our bits box. But this character doesn't have a sword. I gave him a karate, also known as empty hand. Okay? So, I just need his forearm on this because we have to make a shoulder and elbow. All right? And that's not a big thing. All right? Because what is a shoulder and an elbow? Okay? Or a shoulder and a forearm? Well, you know, he's going to need biceps, but I play Thousand Suns. All right. So what does that mean? That means he's dust. That is what he is. He is dust. He is dust for all is dust. All right. So we've got this guy. And now we mix up some green stuff, just a tiny bit of green stuff. Okay. And with our green stuff, we're just going to mix that up until it's nice and green. Man. It's like kneading bread. And sometimes I need bread. All right? Yeah. Look, if you've ever worked with green stuff, you've done it too. All right. Yeah, this is coming down. Okay, you see? It's green now. Okay. So with that green stuff, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a circle. Okay. You start with a circle, but we're going to separate a little. Okay. Separate half of it. Now we're going to make a circle and pop it where it needs to go. Okay. Now, it is green stuff, but I'm not going to say I'm in a hurry, but I'm kind of in a hurry. So we're going to take our glue. Okay. Give it a little dab. That'll do ya. And pop that exactly where we need it. All right. So if you guys notice, yeah, he's now got a shoulder. And now we're going to take our support material. Now, if you guys have a resin 3D printer like I do, you guys know that you end up with tons of this. Just tons of it. Okay? So, I'm going to take a little bit, and here is a golden rule of engineering, my friends. You can always take away, but it is a pain to add more. All right? So, I'm going to give him, yeah, a little bit of that kind of pose. Now, you see, I have him with a little bit of a, you know, he's got his arm out and he's going, but I'm not sure that's going to be strong enough. Okay. So we're just going to take another little piece of support. Okay. And we're going to stick that in right next to it. Okay. See what we got there? All right. So now that that's in there, see? Now he's got a bone structure. Now we're going to take the rest of that green stuff, or a little bit more of that green stuff. Okay. And we're just going to build out a little bit of that arm. Okay. That's all we're going to do. Build out a little bit of that arm. Just a little bit, not a lot. Okay. Because we're not going for perfection. Okay. So look there. We have a hand, and we have a shoulder. So, and look at that. Okay. Now, we've got all that. But you guys might be looking at it going, hey, wait a second, but that doesn't look all that great. You can tell there are fingerprints in it, and it's true, you can. But we've got two components that are going to help us with that. One, our shoulder pad, and two, we're going to have paint. All right? And paint means everything. So now I'm going to take my gloved hand and just kind of work this out a little bit. Okay. And now that that's there and he's in, now you could take sculpting tools, but guess what? With this, I'm pretty happy with it. All right. So the next thing I want to do here is there we are. So now I'm going to cover this in a little bit of glue. All right. Now, here's my favorite part about green stuff. Okay. Green stuff cures chemically. Okay. So what does that mean? That means it doesn't need exposure to air to do its thing. So once I coat this, yeah, I can coat this. I can get this in here. Okay. Once it's coated, it is going to dry. Give him just a little bend at the elbow. Yeah, there we go. And boom. It is going to dry within that candy coat. Ooh. Okay. And see, I'm putting that there to lock it in place. And now we're just going to give a little bit more on the underside. Now to save my mat, I'm going to put my glue onto here. And we're going to take a sewing pin and use that as a spatula. Now that we've spatulaed that in, and he's got his pose, and don't worry if you've got a little too much material there, you can always whittle it off later. Because when you're building anything, boys and girls, you can always take away, but it's a pain to add more. All right. So there you go there. And now we're going to take a shoulder pad and we're going to add the shoulder pad to it. And then we're going to take a few minutes to make a cape. All right, so now see, that's kind of a pain. So he needs a little bit more oomph in his shoulder so that he can hold on to the shoulder pad. That's fair. We'll just make another green stuff ball. And you see, I'm literally using a razor blade's width as my amount. Okay? You don't need a whole lot to do a lot of the stuff that you might want to do. Okay? Cool. So, let's talk. Let me just take my green stuff here, put it in the other hand, and yeah. So let's talk. Hey Heather, how you doing? So yeah, finding out my new flavor of Neurospice puts me in a really interesting spot. Puts me in a really interesting spot in the sense of now I understand why I've never fit in. Hey, Con, what's going on? Oh, bro, yeah, cook dinner. Make sure you're eating because you've been eating good and you've been eating well, my friend. And I'm very happy for that. Keep it up. That healthy lifestyle is real. And I dropped my ball of green stuff, so we got to do it again. No biggie though, because we're going to be taking a decent amount of green stuff. Okay. Matter of fact, let's just start with half the green stuff here. Yeah. We'll do half of it. Half of what I got left. All right. And so yeah, finding out my new level of Neurospice really clears up a lot of things. I know, and this is if you guys out there have a little Neurospice of your own, be it post-traumatic stress disorder, ADD, some part of being on the autistic spectrum of some kind. Look, I've wondered my entire life, okay, why I've been in such bad moods, why I have such difficulty really identifying with what people are feeling or thinking. And the fact of the matter is there is something called masking, guys. And what that is it's a certain condition when a person is essentially acting. They're playing a role, all right? But in acting that role, I know my level of neurodivergence or neurospice, because I don't like divergence. I don't like implying that there's something wrong with folks. Potentially all the above, right? Welcome to the 21st century, bro. I spend a lot of time trying to read the nonverbal cues of so many people that refuse to speak honestly. You know, they say, and I mean this, like a lot of the people I know, they say cute things like it's common sense, or this is just how people communicate. And I notice they say a lot of that to I guess you can say clear up themselves. And I'm like, a lot of people don't, you do. Now we're going to be working with green stuff, so we're going to take some water because we need to keep our fingers wet for this part. A little bit of water keeps the green stuff from sticking to your hands. Also, mineral spirits do a great job at that as well, but I don't have that. All right. So yeah, so when it comes to that, I've never really been that good at figuring out what people mean when they say stuff, you know, or how they're interacting with me. It's just, it's never been my bag. And now I realize I've spent my entire life trying to figure out something that I'm literally not designed to do. All right. Imagine being exhausted all the time because no matter how hard you flap your arms or how fast you run, you will never fly. You know why? Because you're not a bird or a bat. You know, I've been a penguin around a bunch of people who are birds. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not wired that way. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think that way. I don't act that way. And it would be better for all parties involved if you stopped asking me to be. All right? That's really important. So yeah, so I finally have a better understanding of who I am. And that's huge, you know? In the show Static Shock, Virgil, the main character, said that he spent a good amount of his life being the black kid. And when he went to Africa, he was just a kid. All right? And I know how that feels. Because for my whole life, I've been trying not to fit in, but to be something I'm not. All right? I'm not neurotypical. I am not a standard person. And not only am I fine with that, I freaking love it, you know? Especially because I've got this strange thing about me, okay? Really strange thing about me. And that strange thing is I really want to be happy. And most of my friends who act the way they're supposed to, or think the way they're supposed to, or the supposed to, none of them are happy. They're upset all the time, you know? And I don't want to be that, you know? I am happy watching the same movies over and over again in the same day. I'm cool with it. I'm happy solving puzzles. I'm happy playing with my toys. I'm happy playing games. There's a lot of stuff that I just don't get, and a lot of stuff that people expect me to get, like what folks mean when they talk about stuff in nothing but pronouns. You know? But the fact of the matter is, I don't know that stuff. Alright, let's get back to the hobby hole. So, now that we're here, we've taken all of our green stuff and we've made flat little plates, alright? So what we're going to do with these flat little plates, alright? Now, I have a little bit of experience in costuming. So, what we are going to do is we're going to take our two halves and we're going to put them together. Alright? That's what we got. We're putting this stuff together. There we go. Alright. So now we've got these two things together. All right. And now we're going to take our accelerant bottle and we're just going to, there we go. I forgot the name of the thing, but you know, rolling pin. Yes, we're going to rolling pin these guys together. All right. And now we're going to look at the two places we got. All right. The two things that we got here is we got two little things, and that's great. So what I'm seeing here, okay, is I'm seeing, now we don't have a lot of time to work with this, but I'm seeing the shoulder part of the cloak and the bottom. So let us do a little bit of drawing. Okay, we're going to draw a little part for the neck here. Okay, and now we're going to draw, or actually we're going to draw a little part for the neck here. Okay, so that's our neck, and then we're just going to round these out for our shoulders. All right, neck, shoulders. I know, cosplayers, get off my back. All right, now that we've got that, we're just going to cut it out, do a little whittling. And from our carving here, we're going to take the little ball we need. Okay, just a little thing there. And you know how we were trying to put a little extra on that shoulder? We're just going to take that and put a little extra on that shoulder. In fact, we're going to take and, you know, use a lot of this to be that extra on the shoulder. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, we've got scraps. It's no big deal. All right, so, yeah, put that together. Got me a little piece. Put it on the shoulder. All right. Now, since this is Thousand Suns, we essentially have a sandbox. A sandbox wearing armor. All right. So let's look at the shape that we've gotten with this. You know, just a little bit of the shape that we've gotten from this. All right, form and shape. And see, that being the case, okay, that being the case with shape and form and all that, we are going, hold up, there we go. I want to make sure that this is the right thing. So we're going to add a little bit of a swoop. Swoop, a swoop, a sweep. There we go. And with that swoop, a sweep, we're going to take our backpack. Okay. And you see what we're doing here? Okay. Going to take our whole thing. And now that we've got our backpack on this, now we're going to add some folds. Okay. Now this is not the best, but I think I'm going to be happy with it. Okay. See? A little bit of folding, a little bit of folding. So now we got the swoopy sweep. We want the swoopy sweep to go that way. See, look at swoopy sweep. Swoop sweep a little, yeah, swoop sweepy. And now swoop sweep. Swoop sweep. All right. And a little bit more swoop sweep. Swoop swoop, sweep sweepy. I want more long flowy cape thingy. I grew up watching superheroes. I want more cape. All right, yeah, there we go. So boom. So we're just gonna add a little bit of the pleat and the swoop sweepy. Okay. All right, yeah, there we go. And now we're just gonna clean up the side of that swoop sweep. And we're going to wait a few minutes. Ooh, he's doing the wrong side. So, yeah, just going to, nope, keep it out. I want you guys to know, in case you haven't figured it out yet, this is the first time I've worked with green stuff on this level. Most of the time I just make little balls and call it a day. Okay, so now, yeah, add those, and now we're gonna add a little bit of that, but we gotta check for size, and that's too big. Okay, see? Now look at that. Oh, okay. And now that we got that there, we can add a little bit more of the swoop sweeps, because I just like saying things like swoop sweeps. There we go. So yeah, got the super sweeps, got the sticky sticks. Okay, and now we're going to, yeah, there we go. And now got the super sweep and the cape of capes, and cut off the little bits down here, round off them corners. Now sadly, this part isn't going to be done for a little while. Okay, but now we've got a little bit more of this stuff, right? Well, let's take this guy and now I am in an interesting spot in the sense of I've got two dudes in my army that needs a little, they need some clothes. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same technique, and we're gonna make them a little bit of a loincloth. Supposed to, or should be, the other day with my therapist, and he gave me this pretty interesting perspective. Shouldn't isn't especially useful, or isn't it, and doesn't need to change, you know, right? I think that should is one of the most dangerous words in the dictionary. Okay, I seriously do. You know, should, supposed to. I've noticed over the course of my life, that whenever folks use those terms, things never go well. All right, they got the shoulds, they got the supposed tos. So yeah, like I said, I got a couple of sorcerers, and they need some more drapey cape thingies, or some drapey like loinclothy thingies, you know. And that is actually pretty easy to make with this. And this is the stuff with green stuff I'm used to doing. So yeah, so what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna roll this out a little bit, you know, get it down here. And we're gonna take this stuff. Okay. Now, as I said, the green stuff, see, look at what we got there. We got that, but where's some of our extras? Some of our extras right here. Boopity boop. Now we're gonna add some glue to our backadoo packadoo. You know, our good old backpack. And with the glue and our backpack, yeah, we're just gonna add a little dab of glue, and now we're gonna glue down our backpack there. Okay, now, see, and here now we have a little bit of definition, a little bit of stuff to be where we need it to be. Yeah, just pop that in, pop it all the way in. Haha, ho ho. Okay, and just to keep my mess the way it is, I'm gonna add a little accelerant. All right, and now we're gonna get back to these loin strips. All right, now I've got two of these sorcerers. They're not here, but you know what? I'm gonna want a few. So we're gonna go here, And we're just going to take these, okay? And what we're going to do is, now that they're nice and it's relatively even, because all is dust, okay? And make sure it's nice and wet. Okay. And what I want with this is I'm going to want a little bit of a swoop. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off the edges. And let's try and make this even. There we go. So I want this a little longer than an inch on each one. Okay. So now, haha, we've made that a little even. Hopefully on both sides. Yes, there are 2 of them. Hooray! All right. Now, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I've worn loincloths before. And the best thing about them is that they do have a little bit of a swoosh. So we're going to add a little bit of a swoosh. But they're also relatively tapered. Okay? They're a bit bigger at the bottom than they are at the top. There we go. So, look at all that. There, a little bit of tapering. A little bit of water fingers. A little bit of water on our board. You know. There. Now, yep. Now these things are a little big, but that's okay. Because we'll just chop them in half. And do it again. See? And now, my little sorcerer guys can have these things like little whoop-de flaps. You know? So I've got left, right. Matter of fact, I can probably have left, right, and front. Front. Yeah. It looks like I can have left, right, and front. That's pretty cool. Alright, now let's see if I can get this down. No, just left, right. I don't have enough for 2 more. And I didn't bring out enough green stuff for it. But you know what? I can live with that. Let's just clean up this edge. Wow, I didn't mean that clean. There we go. Alright. And there. Alright. So we've got our left and our right. Now, for these bottoms, we just want to take our wet fingers. Okay. Get off. Alright, cool. So yeah, we're going to take our wet fingers, and for the bottom, that bottom seam, alright, you're about to learn something. Okay, for that bottom seam, we're going to take a sewing pen, one of my favorite tools, and we are going to fold up and over. There we go. Now that we folded that up and over, we've got a bottom seam. Okay. Boom. Now, as I'm working with this, it's really starting to cure, which is really cool. All right, starting to cure. And when it cures, the closer it gets to cured, the easier it is to sculpt, because it holds its shape a bit better. And that's neat. So what we're going to do here is bop, 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 bop. There we go. And now There we go. Pop, pop. Okay. Oh, we need to carve a little bit. Shape and form. Thank my old boss for teaching me a lesson or two. Shape and form. Okay. And so now that we got these guys out, we're just going to rolling pin these a bit down. You know, we want these things stupid thin. Okay? Stupid thin. Thin and smooth. Like my dad was. There we go. And now... Okay. Now that we got that, we're just gonna carve it on up. Okay. And see, this is a fun and interesting bit. Because when you get to the point where we're at here, it starts holding its own folds. Hold the fold. Okay. And when it does that, now we can take it up and let it hold the fold. God, I'm full of zippy catchphrases tonight, aren't I? Hold the fold. Little space to whittle. Okay. Again, we need our things so that we can fold this up. And boop, boop. There we go. Pop, 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 pop. There. There we are. Yeah, there we go. This is our Eddie Murphy McDonald's burger of miniatures. That's what we're doing. You know, put some bell peppers on this. Watch the little kids be like, this ain't better than McDonald's. See, got some bits a while back to make a character for Curse City inspired, but legally distinct from Richard Belmont, right? Yeah. Make him a tiny, billowy head. Yeah, totally, dude. Totally schmodally. Alright, let's get this nice and wet because we totally messed up. But it's okay. We can just do this from scratch again. Okay. So, here we are. Happening here. Alright, and again, all we're doing is making ourselves some rectangles. That's it, just some rectangles. And then those rectangles are gonna be all pillowy billowy. Not to be confused with hickledy pickledy. Alright, here we go there. And now just another bit, really get that out there, get it the right length. Okay. So yeah, get it the right length. Carve it up. There we go. Carve off the excess. Boom. Give a little fold. Now this is getting stiffer, and I'm much better with knives than I am with pins. Okay. And now before we put the final fold into it, Get it as smooth as we can. There. I'm gonna let it break in a minute. And now we just carve off the excess. And now, give it a fold. Okay? And then from all this, guys, we walk away. But look at what we have here. Now that we've got that, we're just going to take this, and remember what I said earlier. You can always take away, but it is a pain to add more. Okay? There. So now, we've got our capes. And see, this little technique with the green stuff will work well with scrolls, or whatever it is that you're doing. All right. But I got 3 little sorcerer guys. Ooh, this one rolled up a bit too much. Okay. But these things are going to take a little while to dry, like at least a couple of hours. Okay. But once they do, we can glue them onto the thing. Yeah, we'll be able to glue them onto the mini with very little complication. You know, a little bit here, a little bit there, it's all texture. So, we're just gonna spatula this thing up. And put it down. There we go. Boom, boom. And again, since all that is there, we'll take this guy. And just pop him on down. Now, with this, I'm going to take some water and we're just going to smooth out as much as we can. Okay? Because as you guys can see, we're starting to get some cool stuff going. Okay? Just, yeah, some much cooler stuff going right here. Alright? And once that's in there, this will go on this guy, but now that we got this, let's put on a little glue for this guy. Now see, I'm making the whooshy whooshies for the characters that are flying. Okay. Now, technically, I gotta figure out a way to make a flying disc. Okay? Because they are Exalted Sorcerers on disc. But yeah, since I have 4 small units of infantry, technically, yeah, no, 4 small units of infantry, and a bunch of heroes, I hear I'll be playing Hero Hammer. And I'll be fine with that. You know, because I don't think I'm going to be winning any tourneys or anything, but, you know, actually I'm sure I won't be winning any tourneys because I won't be going to any. Or at least I won't be playing in any. I am thinking very much about going to the Las Vegas Open. Primarily because I found out, much like a lot of people finding out many things about mini wargaming, that the Las Vegas Open isn't just Warhammer 40k. So I might be able to get a game of 40k in. If not, I have translated my 40k army to one-page rules, which is interestingly challenging. There we go. And see, now we've got a perfectly functioning dude. And we can put him on a base. Now, yeah, we can put him on a base. And he looks alright. You know? Ooh. I want to put this down just a little bit more. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. See? Now we've got a perfectly functioning mini. Now, since I have some green stuff left around, let's fill in some of these gaps. Okay? And I'm going to fill in the gaps in the best way, which is to do exactly what we just did all over again. Okay? We're going to give this guy a green stuff band-aid. Okay? Or rather, a green stuff, belt scarf, you know? He's going to be like a total hipster on this. So yeah, we're just going to roll that all the way up. And I can do all of that. Ooh. There we go. Let's make sure the whole thing is nice and wet. Again, if we had like some mineral oil, then we could get it all nice and smooth. But we don't. So we're not going to. And that's fine. There we go. Now that we got that, we are going to... Now that we got it all flattened out, now the irregular shape is perfectly fine. Okay? Because tie a scarf around your waist sometime and see what happens. Now, you know, you're not, let's see, I was thinking about burgers from Coming to America to follow our theme. And which theme would that be, Zan? Inspired by, but legally distinct from. Yes. Yes, good old McDowell's. And see, now I'm adding just a few pleats in the back. And it may seem like decoration, but really, I'm just pushing this into place. Okay? Think about it like a band-aid. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You see, McDonald's has the golden arches. McDowell's has the golden arcs. There we go. Yeah, let's just get that in there. Keep that in there. And now just make sure that it keeps along a very similar track to... Nope. Get down there. Stay there. Alright, yeah. There we go. Move it over. Keep it in. Push it into place. Kind of keep it pushed in place. Move it here. Keep on pushing. There we go. And now, again, we're going to take some of our glue. And with our glue, yeah, we're going to take our glue and we're going to use it. Focus. gap filler. Okay, fill in some of the gaps down there in some of our spots. Now, sculpting with green stuff is pretty easy. And I want to talk to you guys about language. Okay? And we'll get to that right after. There we go. Right after I get my gap fill in here. Okay? So we're just going to pop that down there. Yeah. Let the chemicals do the work. The more you force it, the higher chance you're going to end up getting hurt, or even worse, messing up your project and having to do it all over again. There we go. In. Pop, pop, pop. In. In. And there we go. Now our guy had a little belt. Why won't you focus? Alright, there we go. Yeah, we're gonna put this. Look at my guy, he's got a little belt. Okay, but I got a little bit of a rough spot here. So we're just gonna take that rough spot and we're just gonna smooth it out with a piece of metal. I happen to have a drill bit here. Okay, silicone sculpting tools were made for this type of thing. But I don't have those. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're just going to, massage. There we go. And see? Now we've got our guy. What's that down there? I don't know, but we're just going to move that just a little bit. Looks like he spilled a little something on himself. Yeah, that's good. See? And now, haha. Alright, and so. Oh, I totally just messed up all those, didn't I? Well, not totally. Yep. But now that we've got this guy, again, all of this were from pieces of failed 3D prints. We did an absolute kit bash. And now I'm gonna have something on the table. Oh, that's what that is. Got a little paint glob, or a little glue globby. That's no problem. Because now, gonna take that. See, look at that. Hello, glue globby there. Yeah, no, we're gonna put most of his paint where y'all can't see it. Now, we had a little glue globby. We're just gonna take a little to whittle. And again, this was, all out of spare bits and printer failure. Okay? And why would I spend a whole episode to doing this? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Alright? There. That's in there now. And just to make sure that stays in there, we're going to let the gel take a little bit of time. Okay? Just a little bit of time to be in there. Okay? A little bit of time to be in there. And now that it's taken its time and done its viscosity thing, we are now gonna add a little accelerator down there so that it can be like, I'm frozen. I'm gonna take our dirty old towel, dab this off, and you know what? Given that this was a pile of dumb parts, come on, focus. I would say I'm happy with it. Yeah, I would definitely say that I'm happy with it. There we go. That's coming together. And now, let's put this backpack on. Ooh. Almost. We're going to take the backpack and we're just going to push it in place. There. And now we can take our hands and just adjust it a little bit to be like, hey, look. All right. And so when all of this cures, okay, yeah, it's gonna have fingerprints and all that stuff. But guess what, y'all? If you want it looking as good as the ones from the store, then go spend 40 or 60 bucks to get the one from the store. All right. I need a thing on the board that I can say I'm happy with. And you know what? In the 90 minutes since we started the show, I would definitely say I'm happy with it. Now, what is my computer doing? So, I want to take a look at this thing as close to its level as I can. All right. Cause like, yeah, serious and for real, guys. My bad. Yeah. Serious and for real. I want to talk about language for a little bit because, in my experience, sometimes I know that it can be really, really hard to communicate with people, to understand what they mean. You know, I go through it all the time. You know, so many folks over the course of my life have just wanted me to be normal. Whatever that means. But the fact of the matter is, I'm me. I'm just me. And I try my best not to use language that robs myself of agency. Or invalidates people. The part that makes me sad, though, is that a lot of folks are going to feel invalidated. No matter what's done, no matter what tone you use. And for that, don't worry about it. Just always try and be clear in what you were trying to say, especially when you're moving from kindness. That is such an important thing, is to move from kindness. You know? There's a lot about people that I know, but not a lot about people that I relate with, as it were. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know, there's a lot of things about people that you might know, but not relate with. And that is okay as well. What's important is that we operate from a place of kindness. And when we're trying to create something like a life worth living, a social circle, or even people around to just play games with, you know, we really just got to be realistic about our expectations, understand that people are who they are, they're unique, and fortunately, there's a lot of things that we can do Is this on? Yeah. Oh. 5%? Yeah, I know my battery's at 5%. That's fine. That kills the whole thing. So, but like I said, since this started at, or should I say, since this project today started as a pile of broken pieces, I gotta say, for what we've managed to pull off, if I can get this shot done correctly. Ooh. Yeah, if I can get this shot done correctly. There we go. Yeah. There we go. And now... So yeah, like I said, I've had a lot of folks over the course of my life tell me to be normal, be like everybody else, and it's great to find out that I'm just not wired that way. It really is. It's really liberating for me. So yeah, but when it comes to that kind of thing, I'm just gonna say do your best to be the best version of yourself that you can pull off. And, and do your best to just keep working at it, Keep working at being you. Because at the end of the day, there ain't nothing wrong with that, As long as you're acting from kindness, trying to make people smile, or at least doing what I do every day and try to save a life, if for no other reason, if by no other means, restrain. I'm kidding. But seriously, a lot of the times when people are talking, they use language that doesn't serve anybody, and that's one of the things they do. And there's really nothing wrong with it, except for their desires for certain outcomes. All right? But yeah, but honestly, just do your best to be clear in what you're talking about and in all your endeavors. But now that we've got this taken care of, there we go. And as I said, considering that this thing started off today as a pile of bits from a failed print, I gotta say, given how it turned out, I'm pretty happy with it. The time will come after this dries. We're gonna put primer and all that stuff on it, but it's a pretty distinct miniature. It even stands up by itself. It's not even on a base, and that is kind of cool. So, when it comes to all that, guys, if y'all got any questions or comments, or any of those things that you might want to, hit me up with in the comments, it's super simple. All you got to do is send me an email at backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me over on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be putting up pictures of the finished stuff at the times that they're finished. And, of course, you can reach out to me on the Clock app, on Facebook, and a whole bunch of other places. If I seem like I'm a little low energy, it's because I'm exhausted, guys. I have to go back to work tomorrow, so I'm hoping to be back Wednesday, but in case anybody tells you guys that you can't like what you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disabilities, budget, neurospice, whatever it is, you can just look those people dead in their eyes and tell them to put those whatever card they're trying to pull on you, tell them to put it back in the deck. I'm Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you guys for joining me today. Oh, thank you so much, Zan, for putting up the invitation to the Discord. We have a Discord, and guess what? It's free, all right? You don't have to join the Patreon, but you can. And real talk, if you guys find any value in what we did and you want to help keep us open so that I can, what's the term? I can do the amount of shows that I used to, because there was a time I was doing this stuff 5 days a week and I want to go back to that. But until then, I got to take all these jobs and all that stuff. So hit me up on all of these places, all right? One-time donation, Patreon. Again, if you're watching from YouTube, do the YouTube things, like, subscribe, and all of that stuff. And we will see you guys next time, all right? We'll catch you guys later.